So before I start the video, put your hand up if you have ever felt like that you're not living the life that you would want to. If you have ever felt like no matter how much you try to fix your life, you are always back to ground zero. Put your hands up if you have ever felt like that you're trying, that you have this innate desire to change, to fix your life, but you can't. Put your hand up if you see around yourself, if you just look around yourself and see people living their life, having fun, just living the moment, while you are in your head thinking about, oh, I didn't did that thing, or like I had that task which I didn't finished. I procrastinated on that thing. I had this deadline I didn't finished. I have this personal project which I wanted to work on, but I couldn't work on it because I just don't have the focus or like very basic fundamentals skills which requires to finish that thing, and you just can't do it. Put your hand up, like actually put your hand up wherever you're sitting, no matter where the fuck you are right now. Put your hand up if you're tired of trying to fix your life but not being able to fix it, and hence can't start living your life. Well, at least I do. So straight off the bat, the primary reason we do all this self-improvement and like self-work and like life fixing basically is because we want to improve our quality of life so that we live it more consciously, so that we live it more fulfilling in the moment, not in our head. But what actually happens is that we get stuck in this process of fixing. Like it's a very crucial step. It's a very crucial phase of your life. Fixing your very basic fundamental traits, behaviors, habits, mental frameworks, and like neural networks which you build unconsciously during your childhood, which you never even like wanted to have. Our childhood and like our environment wasn't made particularly for our growth, like it wasn't made or like structured properly or perfectly so that we go out there when we'll grow up and like do the best thing possible or like fulfill our potential basically. Like there are people, a lot of people who have grown up in this kind of environments, and we haven't, we haven't grew up in this very cushioned and like well structured and like consciously made environment. We grew up like in fucked up places, and like I personally did, and through that place I picked up so much bullshit, and like all kind of bullshit which I don't want to continue to have in the future, right? Because it's not serving my vision and my purpose. I'm actually like going out of the topic, but yeah, the reason was to say all this stuff was that we get stuck in this cycle of fixing instead of living the life in itself. So like we try to like go to gym and like build our muscle to maybe impress someone, but we don't actually like finish up with that thing. Like we don't complete that thing, we might go like 1 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and but we won't finish it. But we did had a thing because of which we started that whole thing, like there was a thing which you had in your brain, in your head, and like in your thoughts, because of which you start that thing, because of which you started going to gym, and that thing is still in your head. That goal or like that need is still in your head, maybe to impress someone or like maybe to just feel good about yourself, and like you're not doing that action which needs to be done, and now you're in this state where you want to do something but you're not doing that thing, but you still have the initial need. My camera dropped. Also, like the reason I'm shooting in this haunted kind of environment is because like it's night, and the light will give all these flare ups and fuck ups in the camera. And like one of the initial roadblocks that people face in this journey is like the inability to make radical and make sustainable changes or improvements in their life and like in their aspects. And like even before that, actually, many people have this lack of motivation to even start. This just this strong feel or like strong adhesiveness to their current comfort self, comfort environment, and like comfort state of being. And to like those people, I just like want to talk to you guys, people who don't think that it's so serious. Till when are you trying to cope up with this thing? Till when are like you're like going to try to do something and like falling back from it and like going back and forth continuously, and like you're just in this vicious cycle forever. You're like just in this state of fixing forever instead of being in the state of living. So you're like just trying to fix your life, but you're not actually living your life. You're not actually doing the things which you want to do, or like which you wanted to do, and instead you're doing things which are so fucking mundane and like which are so fucking surface level bullshit. Yeah, like surface level bullshit. Focus, discipline, procrastination, very surface level shit. Like very surface level shit. I see people who have all this passion for life, who have all this purpose in their life. They have this zest for life. They have this innate excitement for life, this innate will for life. This just there's just something in them which needs to be expressed, which just force them to do those things instead of like doing this fucking sorry ass pity ass shit like, oh, I can't focus on my studies. Why can't you focus? Of course there are technical aspect to it, but just ask yourself, why can't focus, why can't stop procrastination? So like you opted for this course yourself, but you're not studying now because for whatever reason. For those people who still don't have the motivation to do all this stuff, or like trying to actually get serious and to like trying to make radical changes in life, I want to ask you guys, like, I hope you do realize that if you don't change, if you don't move, regardless of your growth, or like regardless of you are moving forward or not, time is moving. Time is going forward with its own space since you were born. So like time is moving ahead. Time is like moving forward. The question is, are you moving forward? Are you like finishing up with your bullshit on time or not? Because if you're not, then you're lacking in your life. Then you're lacking in time. Then you're going behind in timeline. And that's fucking scary because of multiple reasons. Because there are things which need to be done at particular times, like time will pass by without considering the fact that is this guy have improved his communication, his articulation, his basic fundamental traits or skills like focus, discipline, and like all that stuff. And like time would think that, oh, I should wait for little Joey so that he can develop himself, or like he can just fix his fundamentals and then like he can find a partner for himself. Like time won't give a fuck about that. Time will just like pass by. And like now little Joey is 28-year-old. He lives in his apartment by himself alone, doing some menial job at some weird ass company, earning like minimum wage. You know what little Joey could have done instead? Maybe like when he was 18, 19, 20, he could have started to fix his fundamentals back then. When he was like very young, he could have like started from that age to fix his fundamentals, to finish this phase of fixing life as soon as possible. He could have worked on his communication, articulation, his personality, like his social skills, his networking skills, his friend circle, his career, his knowledge, his passion, his identity. He could have like worked on all that stuff, and like he could have like developed his whole personality, in few years, like 4 or 5 years. And maybe like, and just like maybe he could have found a supporting partner for himself. Could have, but of course he didn't. And like he will now stay like this 28-year-old alone dude for probably like the rest of his life. So as average Farhan, John, Sophia, what can we do? Like what can we do right now? Since like we are so young and like we have the possibility of doing all that stuff, what can we do? Like like really, what is the answer? And to be very honest, like I have thought about this thing for a considerable time, for a considerable amount of time. And the answer is that work on your fundamentals and get them finished, get them done, get them on point as soon as fucking possible. As soon as possible, get your fundamentals on point and start living your life. Get the fuck out of this fixing phase because it's a bullshit phase. And like I have seen people of age 25, 30, 35, 40, 60, 80, like people who are fucking dead to be in this stage, to be in this phase of fixing. It's a very crucial phase, like don't get me wrong, like it's not a bad phase by any mean. Like you are right now not the best version of yourself, and like maybe you are in this fixing phase. You could be of any age. If you are watching this video right now, you could start it right now and like you can finish this thing as soon as possible, because like no matter how much time you have wasted before this, it doesn't matter, because like that time has passed away. We have time left to live, and to live that time to the most optimum way, or like live the rest of our life, or like make the rest of our life of the best texture possible. That should be our primary focus as young people, or like as whatever age you are right now. We need to get out of this fixing phase as soon as possible and get to the living phase as soon as possible. Like start living your life, like start going out there, living your own experience, doing your own mistakes, learning from them, trying out new stuff, doing them, failing, learning, improving, growing, and all that stuff which you actually want to do, like which you had in your brain forever. Like since you were born, you had certain things, from your childhood, you had these things in your head, like which you wanted to do, and you might still have those things in your head right now, but you can't do those things because you're still in this fixing phase. You can't play that ukulele or like guitar, or you can't learn that language because you can't even focus on that shit. And like not even like that, like you can't do that thing because you haven't did your primary duties like your studies. How can you play that ukulele, or like how can you make time for that new language when you haven't even like finished your exams syllabus? These things are like so fundamental, like these things are so fucking fundamental that you don't if you don't do these things, then you're fucked. Then you're officially fucked. Then you're scientifically fucked. Like you're innately fucked, dude. If you don't work on this fundamental and like get them done as soon as possible, you can't do shit. You can do shit partially, or to like certain extent. Like I am doing this thing, like I'm making this channel. I'm making these videos, doing some stuff in my life, but I'm not doing it to the most optimal level possible. Like I'm not like going all in into it, like I'm not doing this thing to the best of my capability. Like this video could have been a 10 if I was doing this thing completely without being in the fixing stage, which I am still on, and like in which I'll stay in for some time, for few years or like few months, I don't know, few months hopefully. I saw like some channels who are like quite famous, and like they have been making they are making content for a long time, like actually like few years till now, like they are making content for years now, 2, 3 or 5, 6 years now, and they have been like covering the same topic till now. Like their theme is the same. Some YouTuber has like picked up the theme of trying to get a girlfriend, and like since 6, 8 years they have been talking about that shit continuously without anything else. Don't you think that it's a bit stupid and it's a bit counterproductive? I know like watching all this video like gives you guys a sense of improvement, a sense of change, that you're like growing towards something, that you're moving towards something. But in reality, like you also know that you're moving towards nothing. It's nothing after that video. It's nothing after 5 videos. It's nothing after hours of Instagram scrolling. Like there is nothing after it. Like it's stupid to like spend time on trying to like think about what should be the color of your house, or like what brand of furniture you should have in your house, while you haven't even like made the base of your house. It's so stupid, like it's useless, it's counterproductive, like it's just not what needs to be done at this moment. My next video will be about the fundamentals, the basic fundamentals. What are these fundamentals? I'll talk about them in much more detail and like much more emphasis on each type of fundamentals and like what are these fundamentals and stuff. And then we are going to have a series on these fundamentals. That's it. I'm tired. I'm finished. I hope you guys get whatever you want to get in your life. I hope you don't get complacent. Don't get complacent. It's the worst thing that you can do. And live your life, and peace out, dude.